and welcome to another book versus movie video. As you will have seen from the thumbnail, today I am going to be looking at The Fault in Our Stars book versus the movie. Now obviously this isn't the first time I've read the book or watched the movie. During the reading rush I reread for the, I don't know if it's the second reread, so the third time I've read the book. Reread for the second time, read for the third time, The Fault in Our Stars, so that I could watch the movie to complete a challenge. And this is something that I meant to do ages ago. It's one of the book versus movie videos that I've been wanting to make for ages, and I just never got around to it, so this was a good excuse to do it. Obviously, yeah, I've seen these before, I've read this before, I went to see it in the movie theatres the day it came out, but at the time I was not making book versus movie videos. Speaking of which, I will leave a playlist of my book versus movie videos linked up here if you are interested in my thoughts of other comparisons. I've done quite a few young adult ones and some older ones as well as just the new ones. So this is probably going to be quite a quick video because this movie pretty much sticks so closely to the book. The fact that I've literally just watched the Blu-ray, and it's got commentary from John Green on, it's got deleted scenes starring John Green on, really shows you just how involved he was, even though he didn't write the script, which it feels like he did because basically the script is the book. So yeah, so if you are looking for a film that sticks very, very closely to a book, then this one is definitely for you. As always, I realise that books and movies, the movie is just based on the book. It is not going to be a direct representation, but I am always interested to see how a movie compares to the book, having read and then watched the same essential storyline. And so I am no way saying that a movie should be exactly like a book. Just always get that disclaimer out there because I have had comments. So yeah, basically all your favourite lines from the book are directly quoted by the characters in the movie, and that is why it makes for such an awesome movie. On my third reading of the book this time, I had obviously seen the movie before, so I was kind of picturing the characters as those actors now. In particular, picturing Isaac as Nat Wolff, because when I read the book the first two times, I had a very different picture of Isaac in my head. He is the only one that kind of really differs in my head from the Hazel and Augustus that I had in my head the first time I read the book. But he is quite different description wise, but I think he makes for a fantastic Isaac, and now reading the book I just picture him in my head when Isaac has a scene or two. Yeah, some of my favourite lines in there. One of the things I'm really, really pleased that they kept in that I think would have been easy to cut out in a way is some of the interactions with Hazel's mom and her, like the things that she says about not being a mother after she dies. This video, by the way, may contain a couple of spoilers because I'm assuming the book has been out for a while, the movie has been out for a while. I'm assuming that we are au fait with that, so I haven't given away any spoilers yet, but if you don't know the story, then you might want to stop watching now because I do give spoilers. One of the things that I really liked that they did well in the movie was the way they did the text in between the two characters. We see it on the screen, and it's in that Fault in Our Stars cover font, which is quite cool. I think that did really well. There are two things that Hazel and Gus talk about in the book that they don't talk about in the movie, but there are nods to them in Gus's room. So they talk about the Hectic Glow as a band. She talks about listening to them, or she should be listening to them, and they're not mentioned in the film, but there are posters for them in Gus's room, or in Hazel's room, or in both. Maybe both. And then I have just watched it, and then he says that she looks like a young Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta, and they go away and watch that movie, and that scene isn't in the movie but it's in the book. But in the movie, Gus has a big V for Vendetta poster behind his bed, so I think that was really good, like nods to various things. as well, the kind of like books that she has in her room and the books that her mom has in the house, nods to various like little interactions that occur in the text that you wouldn't necessarily see in the film, just because A, there's not time, and B, it would just interrupt the flow of the film. So I liked the music in the movie as well. Sorry, I have notes here, that's why I keep looking down. I like the music in the movie. I think it really added to the mood of the movie and made it feel that same mood of the book, because obviously the book, you've got John Green's writing, you've got his turn of phrase, and while the characters are saying his lines, the bits in between we don't get to hear, but the music I think adds to the mood and makes it feel more like that feeling that the book gives you. Again, just a personal thing from having read the book and then immediately watched the movie all in one Saturday. In a couple of differences, in the movie, Gus is 17, in the book, Gus is 17, in the movie, he's 18. That's just a minor difference. And they get a limo to the airport rather than Hazel's mom driving them to the airport, which I think was really fun. And I liked that because it gives a scene with Gus arriving, kind of adding to his character description in the movie, which is really quite cool. There's a lot of star lighting in the movie, which again, along with the music, really adds to the mood of it. A couple of differences towards the end. First of all, in the book, we get a lot of details about Gus and his illness after he tells Hazel about it in Amsterdam. We get to hear a lot more about the treatment that he's being given, and there are a couple of extra visits in the book that Hazel makes to him that she doesn't make in the film. But again, it's coming at that point in the film where their romance is really the key thing, and then the tragedy of the fact that he is ill again is just the really main thing. We don't need those details so much in the film, but it really adds to the mood as you're reading the book, and just, you know, adds to the crying. And then at the very end, the way she receives the letter from Van Houten is different to the way she receives it in the book. In the book, she has to do a little more digging, whereas in the film, it's a little more convenient. And the Swedish rap music plays earlier in the film when we first meet Van Houten, whereas in the book, it plays in the car at the end where he's at the funeral. She has to go through his secretary again, and then it has to come to her in the post, whereas in the book he just hands it to her. So that's quite cool. And then the very end of the letter, which is the very end of the film, so absolutely, if you haven't seen it, spoilers. In the book it ends with "I do," whereas in the film it ends with "okay." So in the book though, you'll have had a lot more okay interactions, and so I can see why they added like another one in the film, and it's a very sweet and very emotional way to end the film. So it really kind of like zooms in on her face and she just says okay, whereas in the book we're already kind of with her and we're already in her emotions, and so just ending with "I do" works as well. I love the way that kind of in the book it mirrors to a certain extent her book, because we don't get to find out what happens afterwards, but we don't need to. It is more neatly wrapped up, but it doesn't end mid-sentence. It's just "I do," and then we close the book. I don't know why I did it to myself, reading the book and watching the movie exactly back to back on a Saturday, but I did, and now I can make this movie for you. So that I did actually last a little bit longer than I thought it would. General message here, it sticks very closely. All your favourite lines will be in there, and the actors portraying these characters do just a great job. I really loved rereading the book. I really loved rewatching the movie. As always, if there are any other book versus movie videos you would like me to make, I am more than happy to go away and read the book and watch the film, and then come back and report to you here. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed, because I will definitely have another book versus movie video coming your way, because there are a couple coming up in the movie theatres very soon that I have been preparing for by making sure the books are on my TBR, so you don't want to miss those. I will be back with another video for you soon. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.